Hey, get out of it. Psst. Bloody dogs. Anyway, I'm in District 7 in Saigon. Hopefully these dogs won't jump out and attack me. And I'm on one of my walks again, and I'm aiming to get into District 1, which is about 4, 5 or 6 kilometres away, depending on the route that I take, and probably depending on how many dogs chase me. And that will determine how quickly I get there as well. I don't know, the aim of the video today is really just to do a couple of things. I want to have some breakfast and maybe even some lunch, depending on how long we're out on the road. And also just to show you the different areas and districts that people live in here in Vietnam's biggest city. District 7 is quite lush and green, as you can see. And then we'll move on into District 4, which is one of the city's oldest districts and one of the most, or probably the most densely populated districts. And hopefully we'll get to District 1. So let's see how we go. All right, let's go. Hello.
Hello, bữa nay có cây này đó Trang.
Quay phim.
Quay phim hả?
Quay phim.
Phải về
Quay
nước ngoài
video.
luôn hả?
Huh?
Hello.
Yeah, hello. Yeah. See, look. Tươi.
Tươi hả?
This is Tươi, and she's from Bạc Liêu.
Okay, hay.
In the
Good,
Mekong.
good.
In the Mekong Delta, and she's been parked here for a very long time, weeks and weeks. At least while the pineapple season is on, and I come past here a fair bit and buy some pineapples off her. I might buy some on the way back. And she has these very small pineapples. Nha, huh? Nha. Very
Thơm.
Yeah, thơm. But they're very small and they are super juicy. They are sensational. They're very addictive, and I can usually smash about 2 of these. Look at the technique. Wow, yoi wa. Look at that. Juicy and fresh. Looks sensational. Yeah, so she's come all the way to Ho Chi Minh City from Bạc Liêu, which is in the Mekong Delta, in order to make a living for her family. Có con không? Có con không? Con. Có con? Có.
14 tuổi.
Oh yeah, she has con gái or con trai? Con gái. Okay, so she's got a daughter who's 14. And con gái ở đâu? Bạc Liêu?
Bạc Liêu.
Yeah, okay, so her daughter's in Bạc Liêu, which is Báo xã. Then từ đây đến Bạc Liêu.
Bạc Liêu.
Yeah. Bằng xe máy. Báo xã. Báo lẩu. Bằng xe máy.
Bạc Liêu hả?
Yeah.
7 tiếng.
7 tiếng. Okay, so she said about 7 hours to Bạc Liêu down into the Mekong Delta, and she's here every day selling pineapples. I'll get some on the way back. Coming in. Thank you. Yeah, so there are tens of thousands, perhaps even hundreds of thousands, who knows, maybe even millions like Miss Dui, who leave their provincial homes each year, often leaving young children behind to find work or to somehow make a living, like selling pineapples like she does, so they can send what little they make back home to support their families. It's hard to know exactly how many people there are like it here in Ho Chi Minh City due to the transient nature of itinerant workers who are officially registered in their hometowns but not where they live and work temporarily. There have been reports over the years that have varied wildly in numbers, with one even suggesting that migrant labour makes up nearly half of the city's workforce. Officially, Ho Chi Minh City's population is around 10 million people, but unofficial reports suggest it's closer to 14 million. So that would mean a lot of undocumented workers keeping this city fed and helping it develop. So first stop for the morning is this great little cafe. It's called Green Cafe, and I've been coming here for years. This bridge wasn't here for a very long time, and it wasn't until that bridge went in maybe 5 years ago that I discovered this place, and it's run by a lovely young Vietnamese lady who I think she lives here as well. And she does a really good café soda. So she uses real coffee, the condensed milk's just right, and it's a great little stop off on a walk around like this. She does juices and all that sort of stuff as well. The only problem is, I haven't really come that far in all this time today, so I'm running a little bit behind schedule. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get breakfast or not. It might be lunch the way I'm going. Oh yeah, really good. And that taxi agrees. Yeah, really great coffee there at Green Cafe. So if you happen to be in District 7 at some point, pop by, check it out, have a coffee. If you haven't seen my latest video yet, I put it up just before this one, so you should be able to find it on the channel. It's a different style from this one. This one is really not structured at all, as you've probably worked out. I also try to do other videos that are more structured and shorter. Chào anh. Khỏe không? I don't know what he's talking about. But they're more structured than... That's right, đúng rồi. Thầy hả? Thầy. Chào anh. Đi đâu? So the other videos that I do are a bit more structured, and they're sort of more targeted at people who want to find information about Vietnam a bit more quickly. And the latest one is about why tourists don't want to come to Vietnam. So allegedly there's this really low return rate. So sorry, not why they don't want to come to Vietnam, but rather why don't they want to come back to Vietnam after they've visited here just the one time. So I thought it was quite an interesting topic, so you might too. Go and check it out, have a look, let me know what you think. And I've already had a fairly good response back in the comments. There's been a lot of really thoughtful comments about it. So I look forward to seeing some more. Once you've watched this one, go and check that out. It'll only take a couple, 10 minutes to watch it. Cheers. Now, just around the corner and not too far from the coffee shop is a vacant block of land that's just come alive with all the recent rains. Can you hear it? Apparently Vietnam has quite a diversity of frog species, and given that areas like this in District 7 remain, despite the urban sprawl, it's not uncommon to hear frogs and toads like these at this time of year. In fact, just over 10 years ago, I believe, a flying frog species was discovered here in the south. How about that? It's said to have extensive webbing that enables it to glide, presumably from trees. So there you go, another reason not to cut them down. But somehow I don't think I'm going to see any of these precious little gliding frogs today. But it is good to know that development hasn't completely wiped out the wildlife here, and it's a reminder that if given the chance, the environment can quickly recover. Now, disregard all the rubbish and crap behind me. What I want to say about this area is that probably 20 years ago, 25 years ago, all of this was swamp in such a short period of time. It's been built up, and we're probably only about 3 or 4 kilometres from the centre of town, maybe 3 kilometres or so. And now, as you can see, it's just really densely populated. And yeah, this would have been a fairly important canal back in the day, probably, because it's actually quite wide. And also this area is also made up of small, what you might call lakes or dams or ponds, all sort of natural sort of stuff. And a lot of the land's been reclaimed around here. So it looks very, very different from what it was, you know, long before I got here, probably, as I said, 20 to 25 years ago. And District 7 has become a massive district. And it's, as you can see, it's not just the high-end villas and apartment blocks and Koreatown. There's a lot of Koreans that, well, at least used to live in the area. It's very local as well. There are lots of little local neighbourhoods here with plenty of local food. It's actually really a fascinating district. So come and check it out someday if you're into walking and looking into these sorts of areas. All right, I haven't even had breakfast yet, so I think it's going to be brunch. I don't know, let's see. Let's see if this place is open that I wanted to take you to. Aha, yes, it's open. This little place here, as you can see, specialises in bunga, fish noodle soup, done in a style that originates from Nha Trang, or at least the owner hails from Nha Trang anyway, a beachside city about 400 kilometres northeast of here, famous for its seafood. These quaint little noodle shops are all over the place in Saigon, because noodle soup with fish is extremely popular here. But this one features an ingredient that's a little less common than what you'd usually find in your everyday noodle soup: jellyfish.
Mấy năm rồi.
Yeah,
Cái mâm đâu chị?
many times.
Không, cái
Ở đây.
chả. Ủa chị bỏ đâu kia kiếm ấy.
Okay, here it is. Look how clean it looks. This one is the fish with jellyfish. I actually forgot to ask for squid as well. Oh well, next time. Thank you. So the thing to remember when you're eating at most Vietnamese places like this is that you're responsible for making the flavour to your taste. So here we've got some pickled red onions, pickled chilies by the looks, a homemade chili sauce, often called satay, and some incredibly fresh shredded lettuce, and other herbs with some bean sprouts, fresh bird's eye chilies, and juicy lime. So all you venophiles out there will already know that you don't just dump all your herbs and sauces into the bowl and tuck into it without paying the broth the respect it duly deserves. A dollop of satay, a generous squeeze of lime, oh yeah, and dunk that rubbery thing in. Same treatment goes for the fish. A bit more spice to liven things up, give it another swish for a bit, and straight back into it. Now these you can dump straight in. I tend to add as I go, but hey, there actually really aren't any rules to all this. Just get stuck into it and enjoy. This pickled red onion is sensational. The ladies here should really bottle it and sell it. What a light and refreshing way to start the day. And yeah, it does kind of remind me of the beach in Nha Trang. A really good bowl of noodles, that one. A specialty from Nha Trang. And the owner, she's been there for about 10 years. So I've eaten there a few times before. It's really good. And 45,000. And what you saw there was jellyfish. So jellyfish and a kind of fish that was in there as well. And you can also get squid in there. The squid, kind of like that, isn't so tasty, but with all the sauces and stuff like that, it makes it just a little bit more tasty. So highly recommend that place. Check it out if you get the chance. So District 7 isn't as well known for its alleyways as, say, District 1 or District 4, districts we plan to reach on today's walk. But it might surprise you that there are actually a number of neighbourhoods like this one throughout this district. It's just that you've got to go looking for them a bit harder than you would in those other districts. These homes are tiny. I can't show you inside in this video because I just don't think it's right to shove a camera inside the door of someone's house. But trust me, as we'd say in Australia, there's not enough room to even swing a cat. And right nearby there's a great local market, which I'll feature in another video. But right now we've got to press on. The canal that forms the boundary between District 7 and District 4 is right nearby. And I've noticed some storm clouds rolling in, so we'd better get cracking. I don't want to get stuck out in the open on a bridge in a thunderstorm. Easy. No worries. So yeah, this is the border between District 7 and District 4, which is just ahead of me there, and then we go over another canal to District 1. And these canals have served a purpose. They've been very important for a very long time. District 4 is actually an island. It's surrounded by 2 canals, and then at the other end in that direction, the Saigon River. And they've been very important over the decades and centuries because obviously they're used as basically highways by pretty large boats that bring supplies up and down the river. Produce. District 5 or Chinatown is in that direction that way. So as you could imagine, I've lost my breath walking up those stairs of the bridge. As you can imagine, back in the day, these canals are very important supply routes. I believe that they were fashioned, I suppose, for want of a better word, by the French when they were here from existing creeks and waterways that were already here. And I think, judging by how straight they are, it looks like they've been excavated at some point in time, and I wouldn't mind betting that it was the French that did it. So good timing to be on the bridge just as a massive dark cloud has come overhead, and I am not keen on being out in the open space when there's lightning around. So I've got to get off this bridge, get down into District 4, and let's see how we go. I'm running out of battery because I've spent a lot of time filming on this walk. We'll see how we go. We might just get across into District 1 and wrap up this video, but first District 4. All right, let's go. Okay, just got off the bridge in time. It's just started to rain and it feels like it's going to settle in. But the mission goes on, doesn't it? We don't let a little bit of water slow us down. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, District 4, probably my favourite district in all of Ho Chi Minh City. If not, right up there with District 5 probably. I love District 5 as well. It's just so different. And it's like District 4, I guess, in a sense. It's very different and unique. And you'll see YouTubers come here and say that, you know, do videos. Let's say, Joan, let's say this is the, you know, the scariest or the most frightening district in all of Ho Chi Minh City. But what I've found over the years is that it's probably one of the friendliest, to be honest. People are very curious about what you're doing and very hospitable as well. They'll offer you stuff, they'll offer you a drink and something to eat or whatever if you look like you're struggling a bit. But yeah, if you get to Ho Chi Minh City, definitely go for a walk through the alleyways of District 4. It's very interesting. Even though I'm looking over my shoulder, that's just for traffic. All right, let's push on. There we go, everyone stopping with their ponchos on. Absolutely teeming right now. My next mission is to not get zapped by lightning. I'm not big on lightning. I love the rain, as you probably know. I'm trying to juggle things now. So plenty of rain in the last couple of days. We had 100 mil yesterday. So rainy season's well and truly here. It was a little bit late, but she's here now with a vengeance. Love it. It's nice and cool. Okay. All right, I couldn't sit around there any longer. I was there for probably half an hour, I reckon, and it just hasn't let up. So we're going to push on. This is what it's all about. Ciao. This is what it's all about. This is what urban exploring is all about. And that's Vietnam life. But I think given that it's this wet and my battery's running out, I think what I'll do is I'll take the short route through District 4 to get us across the bridge. I hope the rain and the wind stop by the time I get to that bridge and into District 1. So at least I've completed my mission for the day. All right. The thing about Saigon's weather, at least, is that it's very isolated. So it could be bucketing down in District 4, but no rain in District 1. So let's hope. Okay, I've got a car and a gutter overflowing here. Okay, I'm gonna have to edge out onto the... Got tooted there. All right. I can't really get off this main road here. It doesn't really lead, or no alleyways around here lead onto the one I want to go onto. Maybe up a little bit further I can. All right, so we rushed through District 4, kind of. And and I'm just on near the bridge to go over into District 1, and there's another big black cloud coming, so I'm pretty keen to get across it just so I can complete my task for the day. Alright, here we go. So, probably my two biggest fears in Vietnam are dogs. I mean, I love dogs, but these dogs that are not well trained and let off the leash, but you already know that. The second one is lightning. It's not until you come to Vietnam that you really realise. I hope you can hear me. I haven't got my muffler. My mufflers are broken on my mic. But when you come to live in Vietnam, and possibly even when you travel as well, you come to realise how at the mercy to the elements you are, and how a lot of weird shit happens. So to be on the highest point of a bridge in a potential thunderstorm is not the best place for me to be in. There's a pretty dark cloud coming in. Let's see. Here we go, crossing over from District 4 into District 1. I think we're going to complete our mission today. There's the Batexco Tower. There's the glorious Ben Yare Canal. And maybe off in the distance there you can see the rain rolling in. Way down there towards Chinatown. And back in the day when the French were here, this was called the Chinois, I believe. I don't speak French, but the Chinois Canal, named after the Chinese, because basically the first Chinese settlement in Saigon was over there, just a little bit past that bridge that you can see off in the distance there, and then eventually they relocated into what is known today as Jolon. But in and around that area there, Win Tai Bin, you can still hear Cantonese being spoken today. And a lot of the city's oldest restaurants are in that little neighbourhood there. So if you do a search online for, you know, Chinese community or something like that in Ho Chi Minh City, you'll probably pull up a few photos of that area over there. But let's get off this bridge. That's enough of the history lessons for today. I hope you can hear me. The audio is probably going to blow out. And some of the few remaining shop houses here. Of course, in all likelihood, this road here probably was the canal, and it's been reclaimed over the years. And so it's quite likely that these shop houses right here were on the banks of the canal back in the day, back when the French were here. So there you have it. I think we've officially crossed over into District 1. I've managed to walk from District 7 to District 1. It's taken me a little bit longer than it usually would because obviously I'm filming this and I've had to backtrack here and there and I've had something to eat. I hope I've captured it well enough for you. Perhaps I'll do another one in a similar way coming up where I stop into a few places that I recommend along the way so you can get a decent look at those to see if you might want to go there when you come here as well. So that's about it for this one. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.